Welcome to Paradise Jam, NCAA on a paradise land. From near and far, them a travel all long to come experience the beautiful white sand. So, Paradise Jam in the Virgin Island. Paradise Jam in the Virgin Island. Paradise Jam in the Virgin Island. Miss a big things are going in a Myland.
Welcome to the opening day of the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. Our second game of the day is our second game of the Island Tournament. 2-2 Kentucky Wildcats and the 4-0 and 10th ranked NC State Wolfpack. From the University of the Virgin Islands, he is the coach Kevin Lehman. I am Brad Wells. Welcome to Paradise and a happy Thanksgiving to you. And coach, a good one on display here. Kentucky, they've won the last two Paradise Jams they've attended, but NC State comes in ranked 10th. They've got a win over UConn when they were ranked second in the country, and they're rolling right now.
Well, Kentucky badly needs a win. They've dropped their last two, and they've won two of these, as you mentioned. The NC State team, though, got everybody's attention with that win over UConn. This is a nice blend, the Wolfpack. They've got older players. They one of the top freshman classes in the country. They're coming off the bench. Nice blend of experience and youth for this NC State team.
All right, Kentucky should have the availability of Maddie Shear, who is back after the couple game absence with an ankle injury. Let's take a look at some key players to watch here. And for the Wildcats, you want to start with Asia Petty at 6'3", coach, averaging a double-double.
Has been fantastic. 3 of the 4 games she's had double-doubles. Very efficient player. 65% from the field. I'm going to say that again, Brad. 65% from the field.
That's good.
She has been outstanding for Kentucky Wildcats. They're going to need big production from A.J. Petty today.
All right, how about for North Carolina State, Isaiah James? Coach, what do you like about her game?
Well, we have this term called 80-50-40. From the free throw line, the field, the three-point line, this gal's 90-50-50. Highly efficient player. 90% on her free throws, 50 from the field, 50 from the three-point line, averaging over 20 a game. Career 26 against Charleston, their last game, and 18 in that huge win over number 2 UConn.
All right, let's talk keys to the game. Let's go back to the Wildcats side. What do you need to see out of Kentucky?
Transition D, they have to get back on defense, and they want to get their offensive gun going and running so they don't have to go against that set Wolfpack defense. Haven't shot it well from outside, so Coach Elsie wants to see more inside-outside action. Touch the inside, throw it out. And defensively, they're going to double team down low and scramble out of it and try to take away that dribble penetration. When you go back to NC State on what they're doing, defend without fouling. They're one of the best in the country at keeping their hands off people. They do not send you to the free throw line. They share it. Great assist team. And if you send them to the free throw line, there's none better in the country. 84.9% from the free throw line as a team, Brad. That's unheard of in today's college game.
Having James shoot 90% sure does help, as she has the second most free throws attempted on the team. We are set to jump it up. Asia Petty will go against Sanaya Rivers. And Petty controls it. Kentucky basketball to get things started. You see the starting lineup here for Kentucky. Brooklyn Miles, Asia Petty, Amia Jenkins, Maddie Shear back in the starting lineup, and Zanaya Thomas gets the start today. And an opening basket for Petty for Kentucky. And for the starting 5 for 10th ranked NC State, you have Baldwin, Collins, Isaiah James, Madison Hayes, and Sanaya Rivers. And a foul as Hayes attacks. As you see, head coach for Kentucky, Kyra Elsie, in her 4th year, her 12th year overall at Kentucky. And up to the free throw line goes Madison Hayes, the 6-foot senior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, in her 3rd year with the Wolfpack.
Do not put this team at the free throw line.
2 for 2 to start for Hayes and NC State. Wolfpack head coach Wes Moore in his 11th year at NC State, the 2021 National Coach of the Year.
Their recruiting classes have been outstanding, back-to-back top 10 2023 and the incoming 2024 class.
Nice crossover by James, then attacks, then has it ripped away by Petty. 15 on the shot clock. Rivers will reset. Pull-up jumper. Rivers shows her touch.
That's a big-time move. Up the dribble drive, the bounce, the rise, and the release for Rivers.
Sania Rivers averages 17 points per game. Here's Thomas launching the deep three. That's Isaiah James on the rebound. James goes inside. Collins, the turnaround shot. Rebounded by Petty.
Collins got down there early, had great position, failed to finish.
Here's Thomas inside, blocked by Baldwin. The kick out, 3 from Shear. Too strong, and another rebound for the 6'5" graduate center, River Baldwin.
Shear's missed the last 2 games. Let's see how long it takes her to get back in the flow. She'll be a big addition to the offense for Kentucky.
Hayes off the glass. NC State, hot start here in the first 2:15. And Jenkins had it knocked off her leg. It will be NC State basketball. And there you see Coach Moore. 800 career wins at the very end of last season, his 35th season as a head coach.
That man can coach him up.
3 straight ACC tournament titles, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Tough shot for James, and Baldwin saves it right to Miles. Miles throw ahead, too far for Petty.
There's a transition game that Coach Elsie wanted to see.
And there's Shear showing that senior leadership. She really makes this Kentucky team go. Former Miss Kentucky basketball player, 2-time Kentucky Gatorade Player of the Year. And a 3 from Collins is good.
Collins showing she has that inside and outside game.
Nia Russell over to the right side. There's Jenkins, back to Russell. Jumper from the free throw line. Calling for it inside is Collins. It's tipped away from behind. Good defense from Russell, and now Shear in the lane and wave it off. Offensive foul as the charge taken by James.
Shear looks a little rusty, Brad. It's not quite in the flow. Coach going to take her out, give her a breather. Looks like she's, favoring that right lower leg injury she has just a little bit. So it's going to take her a while to get back in the flow of the game.
Suffered an ankle injury November 11th. Last year was 3rd on the team with her 11.5 points per game.
She was doing drills yesterday, but nothing live action.
There's Collins, little floater in the lane, good for 2, and a timeout taken by Coach Elsie as the Wolfpack open up a 9-point lead. We'll step aside, 6:04 on the clock. First quarter, it's all NC State at the Paradise Jam.
Mimi Collins is getting her fingerprints all over this game. Trails the three-point line, sets her feet, the kick out, and now shows her ability to score inside. A little floater she had coming off a double-double against Rhode Island. 10 points, 11 rebounds. This is what makes this Wolfpack so difficult to guard, Brad. They can score inside out, really skilled post players.
Mimi Collins hit her 1,000th career point in that game against Rhode Island and leads the Wolfpack with 5 points early on here. Under 6 to play in the first quarter after a timeout taken by Kentucky. There's a turnover. James with the takeaway. Now Rivers goes baseline. The kick out. Collins sets a deep 2-foot on the line. Mimi Collins now with 7.
2 from distance for Collins. Then the score inside. Shot ready. Kentucky has to tighten up their ball handling, Brad. They're too loose with the basketball.
Russell, tough shot, missed everything. Here come the Wolfpack. Rivers running, lays it in for 2.
Bad shots are going to lead to runouts for the Wolfpack. They will make you pay for poor decisions.
Sanaya Tyler in the game, started the first 4 games for Kentucky. She's cutting baseline.
They need to get Asia Petty back involved at the offensive end.
Russell sets her feet, knocks a 3.
Good job by Russell. Her defender sat on the lap of Asia Petty, gave her a wide open 3.
It's Russell's first made 3 of the season, and the answer from Madison Hayes.
They get up the court quick, and they'll throw it across the defense. Not afraid to take the early 3.
There's Miles trying to set up Kentucky's half-court offense.
They are really shading on to Asia Petty.
Offensive foul called on Petty for the shove on Baldwin. And substitutions. Into the game comes Emma King and Maddie Shear. Here's another look at the push-off.
Asia trying to get something going. A little frustrated, gets the shove off. Picks up the foul. What they're doing is really collapsing in on Petty when she's on the post. A defender behind her, another defender splitting the distance between their person and Asia Petty.
Hayes from the wing is off the mark. King the rebound, and here comes Shear. Pull-up jumper. Left it short, and this foul's going to stay here with the Wildcats. As this goes on River Baldwin, 6'5" center. In her second year with the Wolfpack, began her college career at Florida State.
Defensive, if you watch what NC State's doing, they're just standing, maybe Collins, in the middle of the paint off of her person, plugging up everything inside.
Here's Petty. Petty got double teamed from James. It was James and Baldwin, and it is going to go on Isaiah James, the 5'9" junior out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And up to the free throw line goes Asia Petty.
James reached in, no need to do that, as Petty's going to have to score over the top of the defender. There's a chance that Petty go to the free throw line. When we talked to Kyra Elzy about Asia Petty, she said she's really grown up here in the offseason. They had a long talk in the summer what she needed to do to get herself in better shape. They needed her to be the big producer on this Wildcat team, and Kyra Elzy says she has really responded, and we're seeing that in these video game numbers. I mean, 16 points a game, 12 rebounds for Asia Petty.
Played 2 years at LSU, was with Kentucky last season. Just under 6 points per game. Third on the team with her 5 rebound per game average. Shot 55% from the floor on the season. She's starting this year off even better. It's called for the foul, though, as Rivers gets the basket.
This is a tough cover. Off the bounce, look at the rise and the release. All confidence for Rivers. And I'll say this throughout this whole broadcast. Do not foul the Wolfpack.
Good at the free throw line. Rivers at 82%. As Petty checks out, Janae Walker, the freshman out of Tyrone, Georgia, into the game, and the free throw is good.
And I got the patented answer from Coach Westmore about their free throw shooting being so good. Real simple. You recruit good free throw shooters. No magic to it.
Here's the drive, slashing into the lane. Zoe Brooks, the freshman out of Plainfield, New Jersey.
Well, Kyra Elsie talked about transition both ways. I like that.
Shear's first basket since missing a couple of games. Averaged 13 a game in the first 2 games of the year for Kentucky.
Looked much more in rhythm on that shot, the former Gatorade High School Player of the Year.
There's an open look. Brooks, no. Baldwin, yes.
Baldwin just too big inside.
Shear, finding her touch.
Getting in the groove, getting back in the groove. That last shot was a confidence builder. Followed up with the next one.
Rivers left wide open, nothing but net. Rivers on this season, a better than 50% shooter from the floor.
So smooth. Sanaya Rivers.
Jump run away from Jenkins. Here comes Brooks. Ooh, nice feed. Hayes blocked away. Good D by Walker.
Dodged the bullet there. Kentucky is not getting back on defense. There are 2 players trying to stop the ball at midcourt. You cannot do that against this NC State team. They have too much speed and spacing in their transition game.
From the corner, too strong for Collins. Shear kicks it back, 3-point try for King. Emma King knocks it in.
That's what Kentucky wants, the big initial push, collapse the defense, then kick it out for the open jump shot.
That's good for Emma King. She was just 1 for 10 on the year from outside. Hits her first here today.
Wildcats in the zone.
Brooks to Collins. Rebound underneath. Baldwin, the putback. Her second basket of the game. Quick to the offensive end is Miles.
Kentucky getting down court in a hurry off a made basket. Great push by the Wildcats. There's a good look at Baldwin. She is dominating the glass at the offensive end.
Up to the free throw line goes Brooklyn Miles, a junior from Frankfort, Kentucky. Played at Tennessee last year.
You gotta like her speed.
In 2 seasons, she played 6 NCAA tournament games for the Volunteers. Here's Rivers, the floater.
The mid-range game is alive and well with number 22, Rivers.
.35 seconds left, first quarter. Taking it is Walker, working against Baldwin. Baldwin gets the block.
Good job, Baldwin. Arm straight to the ceiling. Didn't need to leave the floor for that block.
Rivers already with double figures, 11 points for her, ball's in her hands. Final seconds, the dump off to Baldwin, no. And Shear, the 3/4 court shot, no good. NC State 31, Kentucky 16. It's the Wolfpack shooting 65% in quarter number 1. This is the Paradise Jam on ESPN+.
Rivers leading the charge for the Wolfpack. Number 22, Sanaya Rivers, having a great start to this contest. She is a perfect 5 for 5 from the field, 11 points. Great mid-range game off the bounce, has knocked in a 3. Rivers is in the groove today on Thanksgiving Day.
Sanaya Rivers, a career-high 33 points when she put up a double-double against UConn. 33-10, also had 5 assists. She was 11 for 19 in that game, but red-hot start here tonight. Just off the beaches on St. Thomas Island. We're here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Opening day of the Paradise Jam. Shot clock down to 5. Back to Rivers, launches the deep 3. Missed it, and there's the first miss of the game coming with the shot clock under 3.
A good defensive stand by the Wildcats. They got back in that zone, kept the ball on the perimeter, good rotations and communication. They got to tighten up their defense, Brad. Give up 31 in the first quarter. And let's keep an eye here on number 22, Maddie Shear. Started a little rough, a little rusty, then you get knocked in a couple shots. You're a big-time player for the Wildcats.
Shear with 5 points. That one halfway down and pops out. Here comes the freshman Brooks in transition. Nice dish. Hayes takes advantage.
Well, as a coach, you chart defensive transition buckets that you give up. NC State is running up this court. They have outstanding team speed at all 5 positions.
Left wing 3, no for Brooks. Rebound to King. Here's King, the drive, the dump, and a foul on NC State. And this goes on Madison Hayes. Mallory Collier, the freshman on the floor for NC State. Also checking in, Maddie Cox, a freshman out of Flower Mound, Texas. And Isaiah James back onto the court.
Kentucky is determined to run with the Wolfpack.
As a takeaway, Rivers with the steal. Rivers attacking Shear. A little wild with the shot, but an offensive rebound for James. There's the dump off inside. Collier, no. Second try, draws a foul. King picks it up. Collier to the free throw line.
I think Rivers, she's trying to walk off. She may have tweaked her ankle, that air ball bank. Now she's over with the coach cleaning her shoes off.
First free throw.
Well, they do miss once in a while, Brad. Not very often.
Coach Moore's probably remembering you asking about free throws. It's one of those things. Why would you ask me about free throws? We're shooting them well.
Even we can't jinx the Wolfpack from the free throw line.
Offensive foul called on Tyler. The defense here by James.
Well, this is a team that's looking really good at both ends. North Carolina, that is great anticipation. Take the blow.
Tyler checks out her first foul into the game. Brooklyn Miles. Kentucky into a zone defensively here. Left Rivers open in the corner. Miles off and running. The dump off for Shear. Shot left short, and the rebound to Collier.
Petty's got to go and run the court and get her position in the block. She runs, and then she kind of stops short of getting and burying the defender for the Kentucky Wildcats, number 13. They want to run. If you're going to run, your post players have to sprint rim to rim.
Offensive rebound by Cox sets up another possession. Rivers, jumper, no. Offensive rebound, oh, what a shot fake right there by James. And it's going to be Kentucky basketball. .7:20 to play, second quarter. Anaya Russell re-enters. Emma King checks out.
The Wolfpack have cooled down a bit here in the second quarter.
Just 1 of 7 shooting from the floor after shooting close to 62% in quarter number 1.
Well, and a lot of that was Rivers. And she was 5 for 5, had 11 points in the first quarter. She's drawn some iron here in the second quarter. Get Petty some touches inside. Let her go to work.
There's Miles, the drive. Foul called on Zoe Brooks, the freshman.
Now, Petty's got averaging 16 a game. She's only got 4, has got very few touches.
Brooklyn Miles to the free throw line. Go ahead.
They're dropping a defender in front of Petty, but still, if you do some ball reversal, you can either penetrate on that drop defender or get Petty some touches.
Brooklyn Miles' first free throw is good. Miles was Miss Kentucky basketball and Gatorade Player of the Year in 2021. This Wildcats team coach actually has 3 Miss Kentucky basketball players. Shear in 2020, Miles in 2021, and Amia Jenkins in 2022.
Well, it's a Kentucky team. They're a little bit displaced this year as Memorial Coliseum is getting a $82 million renovation. So they're playing at different sites. They had a game at Georgetown University.
Collier got bumped on the shot. Foul goes on Russell. Coach Elzey doesn't like it. But more free throws coming for NC State. Yeah, Memorial Coliseum, an $82 million renovation.
Yes.
Women's basketball, gymnastics, and volleyball. Taking over Rupp Arena for the SEC schedule.
Well, there's the play that she didn't like, but her defender reached over the top. They're number 4. Yeah, it's a Kentucky team. They're a team without a home this season, which makes it tough.
There's Petty working hard inside.
I've been there, Brad. When I coached at Northern Iowa, they have that Unidome. Now they have the McLeod Center, but we played in the Unidome, and one year the roof collapsed. It was a Teflon roof. We had to play every game on the road. We had to go to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which was 60 miles away because it was the only place big enough to hold our season ticket holders. So every game was a road game.
For Kentucky, their first game, University of Transylvania.
Yes.
Second game was at Rupp. Played at Georgetown, Kentucky.
And I understand they're going to play all the SEC games at Rupp.
Yep.
And then they're going to have a magnificent arena when they finish this $82 million renovation. $82 million can buy you a lot of good things in an arena.
There shouldn't be anything left off the wish list at $82 million.
Yes.
Shot clock down to 10 for the Wolfpack. Kentucky playing tough D.
Wow.
There's a block from behind as Baldwin got swatted, but got plenty of arm with it.
And Russell tries to recover late and get a piece of that one. Quick with the ball. There's the dish. Back of the hand.
Russell whistled for her second. .15 lead for NC State here with 6:15 to play in the second quarter.
Well, they've missed 3 free throws. I think it's the elevation that's affecting it since we're sitting here at sea level. Give her the ball and let her go to work.
Asia Petty. Oh, nice dump
go.
off. Russell wide open underneath.
You have to play through Petty, even if she's going to get doubled, can make plays for you. And you can't let that happen. That was coast to coast. No one got in front of the ball.
Zoe Brooks with another basket.
Coast to coast for Brooks.
Baseline jumper. Won't fall for Collins. And the rebound to Petty. Here's Shear. Working against the freshman. Rebound goes to James. James off and running all the way to the rim. Zia James at 18 points against UConn. Her first basket here today, and it's an 18-point lead.
Cardinals sin on defense. Stop the ball in transition.
And Cher with the collision. Grabs at her ankle and comes up limping after that last contact. Here's a look at the lay-in by James.
Speed with the ball.
And a timeout on the floor. 40-22. We'll check on Shear when we come back. It is the Wolfpack by 18 here in the first half. Maddie Shear comes back out of the timeout. She will stay in the game. Came up limping a little bit after getting fouled on her drive to the basket. Her first game back since her November 11th ankle injury. Playing through it here. Inside, outside with Petty. Shear in and out, no.
Just off, just a touch or shooting rhythm for Maddie Shear. There's nothing like playing at game speed. You can't simulate it in practice. Take Maddie Shear a little while to get back in the rhythm.
Baldwin against Petty. Rattles it home.
They got to send a second defender in there. They did, but the Wildcat defender was tardy on the recovery. Didn't get there in time. Get Petty a touch. Let her go to work. There you go.
She'll take that free throw. Too strong. Shear taps the rebound to Jenkins. Put back, left short. Just hung on the front of the rim. And now James just continues to just race to the offensive end. Out for the three-point shot. Lacey Steele, no good. It'll stay with NC State.
Well, you can see why James's numbers are so high. We talked about her efficiency in the open. 90% free throw, 50 from the three-point line, 50 overall. Tremendous speed.
Catch and shoot. How about that bounce for Mimi Collins?
She started off hot and cooled down a little bit and got the kind roll.
Now 9 points for Collins. On the top 20, Katrina McLean Award for Best Power Forward in the country. Russell's shot is off the mark. Here comes James.
She's a power forward with guard skills.
Collins the kick out. James shot fake. Now lets it rip. Nothing but net.
The lefty shoots at 50% from distance. Great relocation after the post feed.
Shear bounced it off Isaiah James' leg, and it just barely landed on that line.
Watch James relocate. She's going to pump fake, play a little bit. Now watch her move. Out of the vision of the defender, just that little slide is huge. I always call it moving to the open wood. And her post player knew exactly where to find the teammate.
This foul goes on Zaya James. That's going to be her second personal foul here in the second quarter. And so to the free throw line goes Maddie Shear.
Wolfpack is impressive at the offensive end.
First free throw good for Shear. Shear led the SEC in free throw shooting percentage last year at 92%. As Hayes comes back in, James checks out for the Wolfpack.
Well, that 92% is better than the 87% that the NC State team shoots. So there is a flaw in their free throw shooting.
Just some really good free throw shooting on the floor here today.
I like the guts of Maddie Shear. I mean, she's coming to this game without any live practice, logging big minutes. We saw her go down once on that, got banged up on that injured ankle and came right back in. Tough woman.
Offensive foul. We did not shoot free throws on that. 23-point lead for NC State. Here's Tyler, backs it out. Now drives. Shot up, no good. Rebound saved by Steele. Steele goes inside to Baldwin.
There's the double. There's the scramble.
From the baseline, Collins. No good, and a foul on the shot. And this will be Petty's third personal foul here with 2:12 to play.
Well, the defense was really good, Brad. We talked about with Coach about they're going to double the post and scramble out. They did that and then fouled the jump shooter. And Petty, with her third, is going to go to the bench.
Gets a talking to from head coach Kyra Elzy before she takes her seat. Janae Walker, 6'3" freshman, into the game for Petty.
I like Petty's game, except Asia Petty needs to be more assertive and demanding of the basketball at the offensive end.
The offensive foul is Miles driving in, ran over Baldwin.
Excellent play by Baldwin. You're so tempted as a post player to try to block shots when little guards come at you. Stayed on her feet. Forced a turnover.
Brooks.
They're fronting Baldwin in the post.
Brooks along the baseline, nearly lost it, gets it back. Oh my, wide open is Baldwin. What a find by Brooks from her knees.
Baldwin smiling ear to ear because she picked up a early Christmas present on that basket.
Like Kentucky was ready to get in transition, left Baldwin all alone. Offensive rebound by Thomas, but the shot rejected by Baldwin.
Well, Baldwin walled up, put her hands to the ceiling, able to block it and keep control.
Deep three. Knocks it in. Lacey Steele, the freshman, with her third triple of the season.
Sharing the sugar inside outside for the Wolfpack.
Step back three, around the rim and out for Maddie Shear.
Inside outside by the Wildcats, but they can't get it to fall.
Final minute. Travel on Collins gives it back to the Wildcats. Maddie Cox in for Shear. Maddie Cox into the game for Collins. Shear checks out. Cassidy Rove, 5'5" sophomore guard, onto the floor.
Westmore can get some subs in here this last 57 seconds.
Lizzie Williams at 6'5" from Australia in the game for the Wolfpack.
See a lot of international players in this women's tournament. We saw them also in the men's tournament. Where we get the lineup of South Florida. I'm going to let you do all those pronunciations.
Like
10 different nations.
10 different countries, 13 different players. Final 30 seconds here, the second quarter. NC State 31 points in the first quarter. They're at 22 thus far here in the second quarter. Skip to the corner, here comes Steele. The dump off, Williamson adds 2 for the Wolfpack. And the half-court shot on the way from Rowe. Off the backboard, and NC State, a monster first half, 55-24. Leads Kentucky at the break. NC State 11 points from Sanaya Rivers. 10 points for Mimi Collins.
Those two got them off to a great start, Brad. Got their running game going, played some inside-outside. Rivers took it over a little bit, did some one-on-one things. It was very good. There's where you get, you'd rather be lucky than good, is you get an easy basket.
And joining us is head coach Wes Moore. Coach, a 55-24 lead here at the half. What did you see in that fast start, scoring 31 in the first quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we did a great job of getting out and running. It starts with the rebounding. Kentucky is a great rebounding team. We knew we had to keep them off the glass. I thought we'd done a good job of that, and then once we got the board, we were getting out and going. So, yeah, pleased with the start.
Coach did a good job on AJ Petty, really limited her touches in the post.
Yeah, well, not, you know, even if we couldn't do that, we definitely wanted to swarm her every time she touched it. She is a great player. Had to put a lot of people helping on her, and then also to get her in a little bit of foul trouble. That didn't hurt any.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck this second half.
Thank you. Go Pack.
Wes Moore and 10th ranked North Carolina State with the lead, 55-24 here at the break. We will step aside as this is the opening day of the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam on ESPN+. Little air taxi to a catamaran boat ride. Nothing like jumping into the Caribbean off of a boat. Little opportunity to go snorkeling with some sea turtles.
Let's see if they get Coach to go off of here.
Coach Moore's up for an adventure, you know it. And his Wildcats have a big lead here at the half. He's Coach Lehman. I am Brad Wells. And Kevin, NC State really got it going there. 31 points in that first quarter. A great start for NC State.
Transition game going, inside, outside, can score at every position. We saw some great one-on-one play from Rivers. Kentucky's got to make some adjustments. Petty's with 3 fouls. They've got to get her back involved in the offense.
All right. And speaking of Kentucky, we have a special guest joining us from the beach zone here at the Paradise Jam as Amy Tilley, Assistant Athletic Director at Kentucky, Director of Women's Basketball Operations. Amy, thanks a lot for joining us, and welcome to Paradise.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Amy, let's start just with this tournament right here. 3 huge challenges here at the Paradise Jam. What's good about testing a team early in the season?
Well, I've always said I've been in charge of scheduling for several years, and you can't get a better experience to prepare you for NCAA and preparing you with the RPI than coming to a tournament like this. You don't come here to get cupcake games. You come here to be challenged, and win or lose, we're going to grow either way.
Amy, an amazing coaching staff. What kind of culture is Coach Elsie establishing here at Kentucky as you have multiple coaches with head coaching experience?
It's unbelievable. I mean, how lucky are we to have so many former head coaches on our staff, and with Coach Elsie at the head. I mean, she's every day. It is hard work and relentless with our pursuit to try to build this program. I'm very confident in the staff that she has behind her and what she's doing.
Amy, $82 million renovation of Memorial Coliseum. What's that going to look like when it's finished?
Let me tell you something. It's going to be one of the best facilities in the country. It is beautiful. Just seeing the renderings, and every day our locker room overlooks into the old memorial, and so we can see progress, and I can't wait for you all to see it when it's done. It is going to be state-of-the-art for sure.
Well, Amy, we heard the SEC schedule will be in Rupp Arena. You have an ACC-SEC challenge when you guys get back from Paradise Jam hosting Boston College. Will that be in Rupp?
No, that'll actually take place in Trancey. Congrats to our volleyball team for winning the SEC regular season. So they are probably going to likely host NCAA. So we'll be playing that game at Transylvania University to allow them to host NCAA.
That was going to be my next question. Kentucky Athletics, you got some good things going, right? Volleyball winning the SEC title.
Absolutely.
Football against Louisville on Saturday.
Yes, go Cats.
All right, Amy, thanks a lot for joining us here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, enjoy the rest of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Amy Tilley, Kentucky Assistant AD and Director of Women's Basketball Operations, joining us here on ESPN+. We'll be back with more of the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. (55-24), the NC State Wolfpack rolling here against the Kentucky Wildcats. A 31-point first quarter is NC State shooting 58% from the floor. And coach for NC State, you want to keep attacking if you're on the offensive end. Their defense has been pretty solid too.
They've been real solid inside. It has kept Kentucky out of the paint. Kentucky's trying to beat them up the court and get some points that way. I did manage to do one thing, though. I jinxed the North Carolina State free throw shooting, as Kentucky's 9 of 10 from the free throw line. And NC State's only 66%.
They've missed a few, not doing too bad. Let's take a look at some of our highlights from the first 20 minutes of action. As NC State got out in transition, Sanaya Rivers showing that speed and that touch.
Their running game had it going. You've got to stop the ball in transition. Number one rule, Kentucky did not get that done. They've got to run back those blue jerseys and keep people set. I really like what I saw of that young gal. Maddie Shear, after not practicing, came and gave him a little bit of a lift, but too much offense from the Wolfpack.
Kentucky just 3 of 9 from the outside. That was a triple from Emma King. Inside, River Baldwin just so strong and efficient in the post.
Team speed is amazing for NC State. They get out of the blocks and go. Asia Petty's going to draw some attention. She can become a facilitator by passing, but they've got to get her touches. And then again, you see the Wolfpack going coast to coast with no one stopping the basketball.
Yeah,
that time, Brooks,
the young freshman, looks really, really fast. As here you see some of the statistics from the first 20 minutes combined.
Well, NC State shooting it really well from the field at 57% and dominating on the glass 28-13. But they did miss some free throws. That is the one negative
they
about
only missed
NC
4.
State's first half performance.
They only missed 4, 7 of 11 shooting from the floor. Taking care of the basketball, though, only 4 turnovers given up by the Wolfpack as they lead it here 55-24, and we'll come back. We'll have more as the third quarter is right around the corner. 10th ranked Wolfpack and the Wildcats in Paradise here, the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. It's a 31-point lead for NC State at the half, as the Wolfpack, 2 players in double figures here at halftime. Sanaya Rivers, Mimi Collins. As we take a look at some leading scorers for Kentucky, Maddie Shear, the senior, in her first game back after missing a couple of games, leading the team with 7 points. As you see, here's NC State's big 3, as Madison Hayes, 9 points as well. Baldwin also with 9 points. But Rivers, Collins, Hayes, they're efficient.
Well, they have so much speed on the perimeter with Rivers and Hayes. and James, and then you have Collins, who can do a little bit of everything, score in the post, shoot the three, great passer. That is a tough trio to cover. If I am Kentucky, the one thing I would tell my team at halftime that they have to do this half is get back on defense. Get your transition defense going.
Here you see NC State's resume that they have built thus far. Tied for 10th in the AP poll. Beat number 2 UConn at home. You have Sanaya Rivers on the Naismith watch list, 11 points as we just saw. You have Mimi Collins on the Katrina McLean watch list, 10 points for her. And this last NCAA tournament, 6 straight into the NCAA tournament. Also won 3 straight ACC tournaments in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Trying to build towards another run in the ACC.
And they've got the foundation to do it, Brad, because their recruiting classes have been exceptional. This 2023 class, they're now freshmen, were ranked 4th in the nation. They've signed a class early that will graduate in 2024. That is ranked number 10 currently in the nation for the Wolfpack.
Amia Jenkins pass kicked out of bounds. It'll be Kentucky ball.
I'm going to do one thing better for the Wildcats second half. It's defensive transition. Take away those layups in transition and those post baskets in transition.
There's a foul on the floor, goes on James.
James gives that bewildered look of, who, me?
Now, you and I were down here. We worked the men's tournament earlier. We saw that a few times. In every single single game? There's a 5-second call as Miles slow to trigger the inbound pass, and NC State gets it back. Well, this NC State team ranked nationally top 30 in a number of different categories, Coach. They're 5th in fewest fouls per game, 7th in free throw percentage, 13th in rebound margin, 19th in scoring margin.
I was going to guess 1st in free throw percentage. They're shooting 85% of the team.
Yeah.
There's 5 better teams than them?
7th. There's 6 other teams. How about that?
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Field goal percentage defense, 3-point field goal percentage defense, also top 30.
Well, complete team, and we're seeing it here. There is a miscue on a turnover. But in the first half, they had their transition offense going. They did a really good job defensively of understanding to keep the ball away from A.J. Petty that Coach Westmore addressed with us at halftime. Trying to make life tough on number 13 in blue. There's his demand the basketball. There you go.
Now wants to go to work against Baldwin. Tried to dump it off. Looking for Tyler. Throws it away.
I'd almost like to see Petty catch it at what I call the mid-range post and do the inside pivot and face up and try to go by Baldwin off the bounce.
Collins kicks out. Hayes will launch the 3 and roll it in. Hayes into double figures.
School rocker step. You did that one in junior high, Brad. Rocker step, move the defense, and then shoot the 3.
There's the pass ahead for Rivers, and James put it out a little too far in front of Sanaya Rivers.
Ran her out of the end zone. Ran out of space. Rivers is fast, but not that fast.
Coach Kyra Elsie setting up the offensive set here.
They got to get something going at this end.
Jenkins goes inside.
There you go.
Back to Jenkins and a whistle. This foul goes on Madison Hayes.
Kentucky is looking inside here to start this half. Petty is working for position. They're going to try and play through her. and they know the double's going to come. So you're seeing players cut, as we did in that possession. But Jenkins
up to the free throw line. Averages 12 points per game. 5 rebounds a contest. 18 points against Florida Gulf Coast.
Maddie Shear with 16 minutes for Kentucky in the first half. We didn't know if she was going to play today or not. Oh, good look down.
Baldwin deposits the 2. Yeah.
Really good seal by Baldwin.
The bank shot goes for King.
King runs in the lane, picks up an offense rebound that actually hits the floor. Everyone else was screening out, and she ran in there and picked up for an easy 2.
Hayes wants another 3. Left wing again is good.
Slid right over the open spot, had her feet set, shot ready.
Timeout taken by Coach Elsie and Kentucky. 63-27, 6:44 remains here in the third quarter. NC State picking up where they left off in that first half.
We call this top down. High-low look. Look at the seal by number 1. Target hand, the catch. Kiss off the window for the easy 2. That is excellent spacing and offense by NC State. They are up huge over the Wildcats of Kentucky.
NC State in front 63-27 as the Wolfpack 3 for 3 to start in this third quarter. A couple of threes have fallen for Kentucky. 1 for 3 shooting. And up to 10 turnovers now in the basketball game.
Wolfpack's with a zone to come out of that timeout as a changeup.
There's the 3 from King. That's way off.
Ball never went inside the three-point line. Inside out, Wildcats.
James, the kick out. Cox for 3. And Miles gets the rebound.
Now see if he can run, push it. Showed zone 1 possession, Brad. That was a very good changeup out of the timeout.
Here's Petty. Nice move and finish with the left hand.
She caught it and looked for the double. Didn't come, went into her move. Got to get back. Got to get back and stop the basketball.
There's a push from behind on Baldwin as Petty went to receive the pass, was displaced. Sanaya Tyler into the game. Shear's going to get a breather. Collier checks in for Baldwin.
Baldwin just rested an elbow right in the lower back of Petty. Couldn't jump for the catch.
Quick shot, nice play on the inbounds. Had Jenkins open, tried to take advantage, and now a foul called on Tyler.
These guards of North Carolina State, I mean, they are Brooks. They are flying out of there. And Hayes, when the ball goes up, those two are leaking down court. So if you're Kentucky, you cannot be sending everyone to the offensive glass. You got to make that decision. I'm going to send 2. I don't think you can send 3. I think you got to send 2 and get 3 back.
Cox pass tipped away. NC State keeps possession. 10 on the shot clock now. Cox gets it over to Hayes. Hayes skips it to Brooks, down to the corner. What a shot by Maddie Cox, the freshman.
The defense was good. They reversed it back, and you step out your 4-man who can shoot threes. Tough to defend.
Jenkins gets blocked away. Hayes denies it. See Madison Hayes, senior. Another timeout taken by Kentucky, so we will step aside here in the third. 4:46 remains. NC State 67, Kentucky 29. It's the Wildcats looking for answers. NC State, they got some defense too. Wolfpack in control. A 38-point lead for NC State, taking on Kentucky here. The opening game of the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. Kentucky basketball king throws it out of bounds. Was looking for Jenkins. Jenkins was setting the screen for Miles. So NC State gets it back. And the 10th-ranked Wolfpack looking extremely strong. Coach, we were talking with Wes Moore. Said last year had some big wins, but had some bad losses. This is just tough to get everybody some playing time. Felt like this year's team chemistry was a little bit, he's like, it's just been great. We got some veterans that are doing a really good job bringing those freshmen in and incorporating that into what the Wolfpack's doing.
Well, here's what he did. Wes Moore in recruiting. He brought in that great freshman class, and he's got some older players too. And last year he talked about, he went heavy transfer portal, couldn't get enough shots for everybody. So his philosophy is, let's bring in the portal in a couple spots if we need them, but our focus is going to be bringing in these top freshmen. And it's been a nice blend for this Wolfpack team.
4 freshmen on the floor right now for NC State. Collier, Brooks, Steele, and Cox.
And they're recruiting the 4 position that can stretch the floor. We saw Cox do it with the threes. Early Mimi Collins, who you mentioned is on some national watch lists, can spread you out. And they can also score in the post. Those are really difficult matchups.
And Zoe Brooks, freshman inbounding it, provides a really good spark. Steele loses it, but Collier able to get it back. And the officials looking at each other. And it's going to be a block foul. So Collier.
A couple officials just trying to decide who had the call in there. That was actually really good officiating because you have to defer in that situation to what we call the lead official, who is underneath the basket and has the better view. We've had good officials throughout this entire tournament, both on the men's side and the women's.
Today's crew, John Campolino, Kiera Negron, and Dave Rafalski. (67-29). Asia Petty working against Collier. And Collier's going to get whistled for a grab.
So sitting to our right, Brad, is the staff from Cincinnati. Tomorrow they're going to take on this juggernaut of Wolfpack, NC State. And they agreed with me during that break that we had that you got to stop the transition game, number 1.
It's hard to do with the speed NC State brings. Here's Cox adding some points inside.
Well, and that's what I call a secondary transition, where you bring the ball down the side and you run your post in there. So you're not, you don't have a 2-on-1, 3-on-1, but you have your post player in position for the reversal. Now this is your classic 2-on-1 with a did not execute very well.
Brooks just lost the handle, looked like trying to flip it over to Cox.
Those are the ones that, if you're a coach, you are a perfectionist, number 1. You got 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, you've got to finish and score.
Coach Moore talking to his young freshman on the bench. Brings Rivers back in.
Teaching point, excellent teaching point there by Wes Moore.
Shot clock down to 7. Petty over to Russell. Russell baseline, turnaround jumper, gets the roll. Anaya Russell, the senior out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Soft rims in the UVI Sports and Fitness Center.
This is Collier inside. And Collier with her first field goal. She has 4 points.
Well, again, it's secondary transition. The ball's going in the post. Great seal by the post players.
Coach Moore, 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Has a 40-point lead here. Miles at the free throw line. Miles gets the first of 2. Was at the University of Tennessee the last 2 years. Gets them both. Kentucky showing some full court pressure.
Trying to change things up.
Offensive foul called as Emma King takes the charge. James commits the offensive foul, and that's her 4th.
There's that secondary offense we're talking about. The post players in there in position, and really good finish by Mallory Collier. They have beat the posts of Kentucky up court all day long.
And the shove from Collier right in the back of Asia Petty.
One thing the Cincinnati assistants here told me is you can't go across half court, 3-quarter and try to stop the advancement of the ball by NC State because they have such great speed. They're going to go by you and have numbers. So we'll see tomorrow if the Bearcats' defensive transition has a little different look to it to try to slow down.
Kentucky and NC State. Tomorrow it'll be Kentucky against third-ranked Colorado at 2 p.m. local time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati and 10th-ranked NC State to follow that at 4:15 Island time. And then on Saturday, NC State and Colorado will battle. 2 top 10 teams. And that'll be followed by Cincinnati and Kentucky.
Well, we are a loaded field here with ranked teams. Colorado, NC State.
We'll have another one later today in the Reef Tournament. 12th ranked Texas plays the late game tonight against Arizona State.
And we got a South Florida team that's knocking on the door to be ranked in the top 25.
Coming in 4-1 under head coach Jose Fernandez. Here's Steele. Left it short. Rebound grabbed by Walker. One minute to play here in the third quarter.
Westmore getting a lot of activity from his 4 freshmen.
3-point try, left side. Tyler. No, and the rebound grabbed by Rivers. Final minute of this third quarter. Here's Hayes. Over to the right wing. 3-pointer on the way. Lacey Steele, the freshman, her second triple of the game. Give her 6 points.
Lacey Steele was standing on the wing waiting for the ball to come back to her. Had her feet and shoulders pointed at the hoop. That was a horse shot for her.
About a 3 or 4 second difference. Game clock, shot clock. Shot clock down to 5. Rivers takes it away. Smile on her face. Lays it in with the left hand. And the third quarter comes to an end. 76-34. 10th ranked Wolfpack. Looking the part of a top 10 team.
Well, I think Rivers was thinking about going for the dunk, and then she shook it off there at the last second. Big smile on her face as she goes in and lays it soft off the glass. She didn't want Coach Moore to get upset. Having fun in paradise.
A 34, NC State with the lead over Kentucky. The Wolfpack ready to go to 5-0, and they were lights out in that third quarter.
9 of 11, 82%. I'm going to find one flaw in their game. They did miss a free throw, just 3 for 4.
Another one. You did jinx them, Coach. There's an offensive foul charge taken by Janae Walker, the freshman.
Impressive quarter of basketball by the Wolfpack. 20 points off their bench. They have scored 36 of their 76 in the paint. And a lot of that was in transition offense.
From the corner, Russell kicks it up top. Now Jenkins, skip pass, throws it up at the shot clock as Tyler thought that was within a second or two. And a travel violation called on Lacey Steele.
Steele shuffled her pivot foot on her shot fake. Fundamentals. Wolfpack in the zone, and Kentucky trying to screen the corner of the zone. And the reason you do that, Brad, if you can screen that strong side corner, it basically turns your backside into man-to-man.
Three-pointer launched by Miles.
Good tip out. Russell able to keep another possession.
There's the screen from Walker. Over to the right corner. Jenkins, splash, good for 3.
Left wing, right corner against the zone usually results in an open shot.
Kentucky was 3 for 5 from three-point land in the first quarter. They were 0 for 5 combined in the second and third quarter. Gets one to go here in the fourth.
If they can execute against this zone again. Did a nice job last time. Got the rebound and then patience and an open 3 from the corner.
Russell penetrates,
Nice.
pull-up jumper at the free throw line.
Playing the second and third side against the zone, and you do that with the shot fake, you can penetrate the gap. That's exactly what the Wildcats did. That is very good offense. You're going to show the good, the bad, the ugly on your game film. There's some good for the Wildcats and some good for Williamson inside for the Wolfpack.
A transfer from Southern Utah. Williamson with her second bucket of the game. And regardless, Coach, if you're Wes Moore, the 10th ranked Wolfpack, or you're Kyra Elzy of the Wildcats, you're breaking down this film in the fourth quarter. You're evaluating your freshmen, your starters, everybody that's out there, a chance to get everybody better, put people in some different situations.
That's what you love about this tournament. Think about it. I'm trying to do the math in my head. 120 minutes of basketball, 3 games of 40 minutes. Lots of teaching points in a beautiful hotel in the Westin. The teams there have video rooms set up for them. We've seen teams tape a court out there near the pickleball courts and do their walkthroughs with a beautiful ocean view. They need to hang a Nerf hoop up, I think, because they're doing it without hoops. So you have all the things you need for teaching in this tournament. So when you go home on Sunday, you are better than when you came here on Wednesday.
Free throws from the freshman Zoe Brooks. Into the game comes Cassidy Rowe for Brooklyn Miles.
You mix all that in, Brad, with all that great basketball teaching tools in a atmosphere in this Caribbean that is just unbelievable with the beauty and the beaches.
We're here at the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Coach, the Westin just opened less than like 2 months ago. Able to put all the teams in the same hotel, all the staff, as Williamson working inside. Your thoughts on the newly renovated and now open Westin after it recovered from the 2017 hurricane?
They have enough pools for everyone. I think we're up to
Did you find another one?
Possibly 4 pools.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4.
3, and I would maybe 8 hot tubs.
There's one down by the Bowie House, down along the shore. I would count that one as well. Here's Tyler for 3. There's the drive by Brooks, the freshman. Blocking foul called on Rowe. Oh no, offensive foul called. We'll go the other way. Brooks called with the charge.
Kentucky has been able to stand in there in the paint and pick up a number of charges in this game. And its execution here has been against the zone. They've had some efficiency. That high screen has helped. That good ball movement.
Jenkins on the right side, pull-up jumper. Left it short. Here's Walker, kicks it out. Tyler, did she get it off? No, they say shot clock violation on Kentucky.
Walker was not aware. It didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock did not reset. He kicked it out when she should have took it back up to the rim.
There's a catch and fire, wave the shot attempt from Penueta off. Offensive foul goes on Williamson.
Nice play. Screen the screener, except the second screener illegally screened the screener.
Near steal, and Brooks got poked in the eye. She's standing at the top of the key, covering up her eyes. She can't see anything.
And they're not allowed to stop play because they have an advantage.
5-on-4 for Kentucky here, and finally able to clear the rebound is
go.
Cox, and now Brooks gets the whistle to stop play, and she's going to head to the bench. And Brooks has been a fantastic freshman. She's been a good spark
really good.
off the bench for Coach Moore.
She took an entire finger in her left eye.
Brooks, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists.
Right there, just inadvertently, she tried to jump in the passing lane. And as the other player reached out, I think it was Thomas.
So she's down at the end of the bench. Into the game.
The King's finger.
Jana Ayesa, freshman from Cairo, Egypt, with the ball in her hand. Into the game for the first time today. Williamson inside, lost it. Kentucky gets it back.
I watched Jana Ayesa in practice yesterday. She was on the scout team, and there's always that person that's the leader of your scout team. That's not an easy job. She was everywhere defensively on that scout team defense, number 30, Jana Ayesa.
She's a chemical engineering major and won a U16 national championship for Egypt. Tyler gets that shot to fall. 80-45 our score, 4:36 to play. Jenkins the rebound.
I had a feeling you were going to tell me something about Aisa, like chemical engineer.
Well,
that's above my pay grade.
Well, every time you have somebody that's running the scout team that knows everything better than everybody else, you know they're the ones with the toughest major.
Well, you remember my master's degree is in physical education.
Which is teaching someone how to teach kids how to play, right? Is that a good breakdown of that?
I combined it with a psychology degree, so it ended up being a pretty good combination for coaching. Getting their heads, getting their minds, and their bodies.
Such a big part nowadays, isn't it?
Huge. It always has been.
Rose three's off the mark. That pass is out of bounds, and a timeout on the floor. We'll step aside for the final time, as it is 10th ranked NC State up 80-45 over the Kentucky Wildcats. Open up their play in the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. Tenth ranked NC State up big, 80-45. Shooting it well, playing tough D, making things hard on Kentucky as Tyler missed the three. Now Emma King knocks in another triple. King's second of the game. She has 8 points. Petty and Russell lead the way for Kentucky, both with 9. There's a block by Walker. 4 players in double figures for NC State.
Brad, they got off to a great start. A Wolfpack, 31 points in that first quarter alone, and just kept rolling from there. Transition game was outstanding.
There's a 3-point try for Steele. She's hit a pair of threes already today. There's the dish out to Penuetta. There's Kentucky in transition. Tyler attacks, but Steele's defense just too displacing.
There's that top down. We've seen it before.
And Collier going to the left hand.
Really good post-to-post passing. We've seen it this entire game. And it's so hard to defend that because, as I mentioned earlier, it takes away your help side defense. The ball is in what I call the funnel, the middle of the court. Help side defenders cannot leak off shooters.
There's a rebound to Collier. Here's Iasa spinning in the lane and plowing over Rowe as Rowe takes the charge. And she definitely got the brunt of that collision. Took the charge, then got landed on.
I think Aisa may have stepped on her foot on that spin. Oh, there's the replay right there. Yeah, that's got rolled over.
And a timeout taken by Coach Elsie and Kentucky here. Quick 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Our opening day from the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. 1 game in the books. Third-ranked Colorado topped Cincinnati 77-60. Coming up after this game, High Point will battle the Bulls of South Florida, and then Arizona State and Texas. This is the last game of the Island tournament, the Reef tournament on the bottom half.
I'm excited for this High Point South Florida game. High Point can really shoot the three from all 5 positions. South Florida, 13 international players, highly skilled. They run a lot of sets, difficult to guard. That is going to be a really, really exciting matchup.
Both teams picked to win their conference. High Point in the Big South, South Florida in the American, and both were in postseason play last year. South Florida had a overtime win against Marquette before losing to the top seed South Carolina Gamecocks.
And South Florida picked to win the American, and that is the league that Cincinnati we had earlier today had left that league to go to the Big 12.
King tries a three. Offensive rebound. Put back good for Amia Jenkins.
And Jenkins knows from the basketball.
There's the feed. Oh, reverse layup. Cox lays it in.
Williamson with the delivery. Put that one on a platter.
There's Tyler. A kick out here in the final minute. Rowe kicks back. That's blocked by Cox. And we're going to have 3 free throws. Maddie Cox blocked it, and little contact later.
Got the ball clean, probably came down on her lower body.
Up to the free throw line goes Amia Jenkins. Well, Coach, you mentioned serving it up on a platter. How about 19 assists for NC State? That's serving it up on Thanksgiving Day right there.
Put some butter on that roll. They were moving it up and down the court. Better job in the second half by Kentucky slowing down that fast break of NC State. That had to be a major focus at halftime for Kyra Elzy. And we talked about what's happening at Kentucky with that renovation of the Memorial Coliseum. They're going to have a gorgeous place to play. But they will be nomads a little bit here in the non-conference this season, playing at different sites. Until they get an SEC play, then they'll make their home at Rupp Arena.
King the kick out. Tyler for 3. That's good. 84-55, and the Wolfpack can dribble out the final seconds of this one. A strong, dominant performance for NC State. 84-55 the final, as NC State, with 4 different players into double figures, led in the game by Madison Hayes with 15 points tonight. A lot of different great producers as well. Isaiah James, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists to lead the team in both rebounds and assists. And 10th ranked NC State stays unbeaten, moves to 5-0.
I think what's most impressive, Brad, and you touched upon it, their ability to pass the basketball, 19 assists on 34 made baskets. And we saw this young gal, Denia Rivers, get off to a great start. That mid-range jump shot off the bounce was deadly early. She had, I believe, 11 early points in that first half.
11 in the first half, finishes the game with 13 points, and she's joining us now from the beach zone. Sanaya, congrats on the victory. I got to start with this question. When you had that steal and were smiling, run into the rim, did your teammates want you to try and throw one down?
They wanted me to try it, and I appreciate it. Thank you for saying we had a good win. But I wanted to do it. My legs were burning, though. You know, we got a long weekend, got 2 more games ahead of us, so maybe I'll get it tomorrow or the next.
I couldn't tell if it was that or Coach Moore, the wrath of Coach Moore if you would have missed it.
No, he wanted me to do it. He told me that he would sub me out because I smiled too much on the layup. We love to make jokes, but I'll get it next time.
Sanaya, balanced offensive attack. What do you like about this team? 4 different players in double figures today.
I'm sorry, can you say it one more time?
Yeah, talk about the balance of this team that you guys have offensively.
Oh yeah, we're very versatile. Even though we're a whole new squad this year, we just know we have a lot of pieces, and we're just trying to put this puzzle together. And I'm hoping it's going to translate throughout the rest of the season. We look good, and I'm really proud of us this year.
Have you had a chance to do some things off court? Did you guys go out in that catamaran and do some snorkeling, any nice things like that?
Oh yeah, it's a business trip, but it's also a little vacation for us. We did go on the catamaran. Me personally, I didn't get in the water. I'm scared to death of water. I can't swim. But they had a good time. We even got Coach Moore jumping into the pool, and I enjoy just watching them enjoy themselves. So I love that we can switch gears and make it a business trip. So now we're handling our business now. We got one game down.
All right, 2 to go. Congratulations on the win, Sinai. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sinai Rivers, 13 points. 3 rebounds, 3 steals, and a pair of assists in the Wolfpack victory. 84-55, number 10 cruises to a victory to open the Paradise Jam. For the coach, Kevin Lehman, and our entire crew, I am Brad Wells. Thanks for joining us here as we open the first day of the 2023 U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam Women's Tournament. The Island Tournament is complete. 3rd-ranked Colorado, 10th-ranked NC State gets the win. Up next, High Point in South Florida. And the late game, Arizona State and Texas. You can find all games on the Paradise Jam right here on ESPN+. Thanks for joining us.